Hey everyone, welcome back to another recap podcast from SNXweave, where we give quick weekly recaps of news and important updates from the previous week from the Spartan Council and core contributors, as well as discuss what the Grants Council and ambassadors are up to, so let's get started. Synthetic CCs have returned from a successful and very productive ETH CC, and are now continuing work on a number of core system SIPs, which are in various stages of completion. Some additional small core changes were identified during ETH CC, and SIPs for these will be presented today. Last week, the protocol announced the addition of 7 new perpetual futures markets that are now available for leverage trading on Synthetics perps. The full list of new perps markets include ETH BTC, XMR, ETC, Comp, MAV, Wi-Fi, Maker, and RPL. These markets were approved in 6 different SIPs and had initial configurable values set by SCCP 2029. As for Perps v3, it is essentially feature complete, and we should be expecting a SIP to be ready in the next couple of weeks. Partners are working on front ends right now, so the next step is to plan and get ready for the testnet competition. Lastly, for a work in progress update, the v3 election system is also nearly feature complete and will now have cross-chain support that implements CCIP. A SIP is in the works for this election system, as well as one to roll out the SAFE module for governance. The Spartan Council also discussed IFNX, Kane's exchange, which was brought up by Daniel. There was some Discord discussion regarding what role the Spartan Council would play in governing IFNX, as well as some confusion on where this responsibility should lie. A couple of council members explained that their understanding was that SNX holders would be directly voting on governance items. The council then discussed the Overtime v3 integration, which Duck said he discussed with Sunny at ECC. They plan to have a meeting to put together a functional spec for the project. After that, the work will be outsourced to a Grants Council developer. Daniel asked if v3 is ready to be integrated with, and Noah answered saying spot markets and perps markets have already been built on the Market Manager interface, and it likely won't change. Since Thales uses SUSD for overtime markets, an integration at this point would not be a functional product until liquidity migrates to v3. As soon as Perps v3 is underway, v3 will need as much liquidity as possible, and the incentives will need to reflect that. But the details and timeline are not fully clear yet. Lastly, SIP 2028 was presented last week by Gunboats to add WorldCoin to Perps v2. This SIP was approved pending feedback on Oracle feasibility, which should be available shortly. And that's it for today's updates. Be sure to check out our weekly recap blog post, share this podcast link, and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear more about from SNXweave. Thanks for listening.